While you were scrolling your phone, the richest people on the planet were quietly preparing to disappear underground. Not as a joke, not as a movie plot, as a real plan. And the deeper you dig into this story, the more unsettling it gets. Let's start with the most famous one, Mark Zuckerberg, the man who built Facebook, who controls what billions of people see, read, and believe every single day, is building something on a remote Hawaiian island that he doesn't want you to know about. On the island of Kauai, Zuckerberg is constructing a 1,400-acre compound, so secretive that workers are forced to sign non-disclosure agreements, and some have been let go for something as simple as a social media post. Underneath that compound, a 4,500 square foot underground living space, the size of an NBA basketball court, with 7 bedrooms, a large living area, a kitchen, a mechanical room, an access tunnel connecting to ground level, and a blast-resistant door. When journalists confronted him about it, Zuckerberg called it just a little shelter and described it as like a basement. That's not a basement, that's a bunker built for survival. And Zuckerberg isn't alone. Not even close. Bill Gates reportedly has bunkers under all of his many homes. Think about that for a second. Not one bunker, not one house. Every home he owns has one beneath it. India's richest man, Mukesh Ambani, had his 27-floor private skyscraper in Mumbai strategically secured by one of the world's leading bunker firms. The message is clear. If you're a billionaire, you're preparing for something. But why? What do they know that the rest of us don't? Global uncertainty, political instability, and climate change are the primary drivers behind these investments. But it goes deeper than that. In 2017, a media theorist named Douglas Rushkoff was invited to speak at an exclusive resort to a group of powerful tech executives. He expected to give a talk about the digital future. Instead, when he arrived, 5 men pulled him into a room with no audience. They had questions. Not about technology, not about the future of the internet, but about Alaska versus New Zealand. Meaning, where should they build their bunkers for what they called the event? These were some of the most powerful men in Silicon Valley, and they weren't discussing innovation. They were discussing escape. The men cited potential disasters, electromagnetic pulses, economic collapse, disease, and war as reasons they might need to retreat to fortified bunkers in the middle of nowhere. So where exactly are they building these things? Let's go location by location. New Zealand has become ground zero for billionaire escape planning. The country is considered an apocalypse escape destination for America's elite. As of 2025, wealthy individuals are eligible for New Zealand residency if they invest at least 5 million New Zealand dollars in the country. Peter Thiel, the PayPal co-founder and early Facebook investor, secured a New Zealand passport as his escape plan. The underground shelter network Vivos installed a 300-person bunker on New Zealand's South Island in 2020, while survival shelter firm Rising S Bunkers revealed it had delivered around 10 private bunkers to New Zealand in recent years alone. Film director James Cameron moved there entirely. So did dozens of other ultra-wealthy individuals, buying up remote farmland and building self-sufficient estates. Then there's Hawaii. 11% of Hawaii's private land is owned by just 37 billionaires. Zuckerberg, Oprah, Larry Ellison, who purchased nearly the entire Hawaiian island of Lanai. These aren't holiday homes. They're fortified, self-sustaining compounds with underground tunnels, food supplies, water systems, and security infrastructure that most governments don't have. Now let's talk about the bunkers being built, not just for individuals, but for an entire class of people. In the Czech Republic, a facility called the Oppidum is being billed as the largest billionaire bunker in the world. It was originally a top-secret joint project between the Soviet Union and Czechoslovakia. Built over 10 years beginning in 1984, today it has been converted into a private underground compound covering over 323,000 square feet. Inside, a 6,750 square foot master apartment, 7 luxury suites, a climate-controlled wine cellar, a communications room, a hospital, and a dental surgery. Above ground, a golf course and a helipad with automatic defense technology. It was reportedly purchased by a single billionaire investor who plans to use it as a retreat for friends, family, and staff when the time comes. In Germany, a converted Cold War-era munitions facility called Vivos Europa 1, built beneath a 400-foot mountain, offers 227,904 square feet of living space, with individual residences that can be customized to include private pools, cinemas, and gyms. The total project is valued at $1.1 billion. In Kansas, a former nuclear missile silo has been transformed into luxury underground condominiums called Survival Condo. Each unit comes with a 5-year supply of food, military-level security, 9-foot thick walls, and a 161-foot protective dome. Amenities include a swimming pool, rock climbing wall, movie theater, dog park, and arcade. It's not a shelter. It's an underground city built for the wealthy to outlast the end of civilization in comfort. And in South Dakota, a development called Vivos X Point contains 575 individual bunker units, designed to house and sustain an entire community of survivors indefinitely. The amenities inside these places have evolved far beyond anything most people imagine when they hear the word bunker. Developers have shifted to focusing on entertainment, wellness, and long-term comfort, because survival experts argue that the human mind cannot endure years of isolation in a bleak, gray space. Here's where the message gets uncomfortable. Beyond survival, these bunkers have become status symbols. Owning one reflects not just the desire for safety, but the exclusivity and social standing of the owner. We're not just talking about fear. We're talking about a class of people who have consciously chosen to invest in a future that separates them permanently from everyone else. Some experts argue this isn't just prepping. It's the emergence of a new kind of feudalism, a world where, when crisis hits, the elite disappear underground with their staff, their supplies, and their security forces. That tells you everything you need to know about how they really see things going. They're not optimistic, they're prepared. And you were never part of the plan.